This is Lilian. I'm doing my video from Lusaka, Zambia. Long story short, I was on NSPPD first in April of 2025 when you came to Zambia, and I've been glued since 2004. I was actually pregnant with twins, a boy and a girl, and everything was so smooth sailing until the day I went for delivery, which was a day like today, the 9th of November. I went on the 8th in the evening. That was maybe around 22, 23 thereabout. The process was very quick. I was dilating quickly. Things were happening in succession. And before I knew it, first and foremost, the doctor that I found on call was drunk. He was not initially the gynecologist that was supposed to deliver my children. The one we had made an appointment with had to fly out of town, and unfortunately we just had to make do with what was at our disposal at that time. An examination had to be done to just assess the positioning of the leading baby, which was the boy. The doctor, that is, was not so sure of whether the boy was coming in with the head or he was coming in with the bum. So because of that uncertainty, my dilation, which was happening very fast, a decision needed to be made, and so they opted that I should go in for a C-section. So when I went in for that C-section, under anesthetic, I first felt myself like I was sleeping in a pool of water. I didn't know that I'd lost so much blood. And in the process, I could hear the doctors and whoever was doing the surgery, they were talking, and I could hear in our dialect, one of our dialects, they were saying that I would be a problem to them. I just remember jerking in and out of life. Long story short, I lost a lot of blood. They had to put about 4 pints of blood by the time I was coming out of that theater. I didn't come out conscious. I had to be wheeled to ICU. This is where the devil tried to capitalize, because once I was in that theater, they removed the children properly, but then I don't know what they cut. I was given a story when I woke up that I had fibroids, but I don't know whether that was true or not, because I never saw them, and I didn't even experience them during the checkups when I was going for antenatal and everything. So they cut a piece of my uterus, I think, and I began to bleed profusely. The water I felt like I was sleeping in was actually the loss of my own blood. So it was so heavy to the point that they had to do some transfusions. I think they put about 4 pints of blood. They couldn't stop the bleeding. So what they did was to just stitch me up and take me to ICU, awaiting for me to die, obviously, because there was nothing else they could do. That's what they told my family. They couldn't do anything after that. So I thank God that when I was going to the hospital that same night, on the 8th in the evening, I had actually called the actual gynecologist who was supposed to deliver me. He's a specialist. And somehow God didn't give him peace. He was out of town, but he kept on calling the hospital because he was a senior consultant, and so he had access to what was going on in the hospital. So he traced me, and just to be told what had happened to me, he had to awake his friend who was nearby, another senior consultant, gynecologist, to rush to the hospital. So I was wheeled into the theater for the second time. And this time I was fighting for my life. So a decision, like you said, had to be made. And the decision that was made was to remove the uterus, because now it was a matter of life and death. So I was surprised on NSPPD 25th of August, just about 56 minutes into the prayers, I was actually going about my own things. That day I hadn't sat down. And then I just heard the word of knowledge come. It was on throne room verdict. The King of Kings has ruled in my favor. Then a word of knowledge came. Oh my God, you were pregnant with twins. You were pregnant with twins, and a medical emergency happened, and they had to remove your uterus, and both the twins did not make it.
My God, my God, my God. You were pregnant with twins. You had a medical emergency. And they said the only way was to cut off your womb. And you don't even have a child. And you don't even have a child. And the twins did not survive. And your womb was cut off.
I froze because I was not even praying about the uterus story anymore, Pastor Jerry. I was pregnant in 2004, and this is 2025. In the initial years, I used to pray about it, but somehow I just stopped. And so on that day, on that altar, that day, it was not my prayer point. It was not something I was asking God for. But he located me, Elroy located me, and I heard your voice and you said it. And I went to kneel down near the device, near my phone, and I just felt this presence. I said, this is so accurate. This is me. Lord, you have located me. What are you saying? Then I heard you say, after these prayers, go back and check. Go back and check. A recreative miracle is happening.
Hear me as I hear the Lord. After this prayer, go and check. After this prayer, go and check. The Lord is restoring your womb. The Lord is restoring your womb. Right now. Right now. Creative miracle. Let it happen in that womb. Right now.
Man of God, my uterus was removed in 2004. 21 years later, I wasn't asking God for this prayer point. It wasn't even on my list. But I heard him look at me. Elroy is faithful. I remember those countless nights I would cry. I would cry myself to sleep. I didn't understand why I lost my uterus. And unfortunately for me, the first baby we lost, and the girl, she passed. So both the children didn't make it according to prophecy. Just the way the word of knowledge came, they didn't. And guess what? I don't have a child. Just the way God had said it in the word of knowledge, I have no child. I lost my children, I lost my uterus, and I was placed in a position where you are mocked, you are laughed at, you're ridiculed. God is faithful. I was not praying for the uterus. Then to hear this word of knowledge knocked me off. I took about 2 months. I had things that were going on because I'd been taking care of my mom. So I couldn't find time to go to the hospital until on the 3rd of this month. I went to the hospital and I insisted on having a scan. And guess what, Pastor Jerry? Elroy has done it. I tell you, they did the scan, and 3 times the doctor told me, there's nothing wrong with your uterus, there's nothing wrong with your ovaries, there's nothing wrong with your pelvic region. And I kept on asking. I asked him 3 times, are you sure my uterus is okay? Then he says, everything is normal. Your uterus is fine. Your uterus is fine. Everything is in place. And it's normal. They even wrote a report. I'll attach it. This God on the fire altar, he has ruled in my favor. He's given me a second chance at parenthood. He's given me a chance to have children again. Even when I didn't beg him, I didn't pray for it. This testimony was triggered when I heard that lady saying, I didn't even pray for a uterus. I didn't pray for it, but God gave it to me. And I was praying for my own things, but God threw in the uterus because it was important. I touched the womb of his mercy. God is faithful. God is faithful. If surely, Pastor Jerry, like you say, he can give us what we did not ask, how much more will he give us the things that we are asking for? Elroy, for me, this is my testimony. I just wanted to say, may the oil on your head surely never run dry, Pastor Jerry. The God who you stir his heart to the point of blessing people with blessings they never imagined they could even ask. 21 years. Today, I have a uterus. I have a womb. All to the glory of Elroy. For surely he has ruled in my favor. The verdict is in my favor. What God cannot do does not